the little bird that won't fly. A long time ago in the bird kingdom lived a tiny little bird named Alice. Alice was a colorful little bird. Alice loved to sing, even though she didn't have a nice singing voice. Her siblings would tease her and tell her to shut up, while some other birds would discourage her and tell her not to sing because of her voice. To worsen the entire situation, Alice couldn't fly like other birds. Every day, after doing her house chores, she would watch other birds her age take to flight to hunt for food for their families. But she couldn't fly. Sometimes, Alice would watch other birds flying happily in the sky, while she walked on the ground, hoping that one day she would fly. Meanwhile, Alice has a friend named Susan. Susan was a colorful bird, and she could fly like the other birds. But each time Susan tried to make her friend flap her wings to fly, Alice would fall down in fear. So one day, while Alice and Susan were at the bird park playing, Susan asked her a question. "Why is it that you are afraid to fly?" Susan asked. Alice sighed. "The day I tried to flap my wings and fly at school like every other bird, my wings felt so heavy and I fell to the ground instantly." "Was it raining the day you tried to fly?" Susan asked again. "No," Alice shook her head. "But the bullies in my class shoved my wings in water," she replied sadly. "Oh, so sorry, Alice. But the reason why you couldn't fly was because your wings were wet with water. Not all birds can fly with wet wings. So come on now. You must learn how to fly." Alice followed after Susan. She wondered how she would fly again because she was still too scared to fly. Who knows? She might drop to the ground like every other time she wanted to fly. So Susan took her to the mountain top and tried to teach her how to fly. But Alice kept dropping on the ground. Tired, Susan called out to her, "Alice, look at me. You are a bird, and birds fly. Okay? Don't be afraid of flying no matter what. Now, I want you to determine in your mind that you will fly and not drop to the ground again." "I promise," Alice pouted. So, Susan took Alice to the treetop. Then Susan pushed her with her beak and told her to fly. Alice closed her eyes. Then she tried to imagine herself flying. Once she could see herself flying in her mind, she pulled out her wings, flapped them, pulled up her legs, and began to fly. "Yes!" Susan clapped and cheered. Alice opened her eyes and realized that she was high up in the sky, flying like every other bird. She was so happy and thankful to her friend who had helped her. She was also glad that she had seen herself flying in her mind first. From that day, Alice learned that if you can overcome your fear, you can do anything. The end. What did you learn today? Lessons to learn. Number 1. You can do anything if you see yourself doing it. 2. When you overcome fear, you will be able to do anything. Here are words that you can learn. 1. Bird. B-I-R-D. Bird. 2. Tree. T-R-E-E. Tree. See you next time.